Stillness is probably one of the best. I guess I can say it's a practice period, but if you're a man, I think that's like essential for you to even have is that sense of stillness and being calm and being like put together. Uh, I guess when I came to spirituality, I didn't have a lot of peace in my life. I was, in a sense, seeking some type of retribution, some type of understanding on why my life was going the way it was, why I was so angry, why I was so frustrated, sad, why, even to the point where I felt empty. And as I progressed, I started to realize that I was full. I wasn't lacking anything I didn't need, and I started to develop this kind of peace and this stillness within myself. But it starts somewhere, and that's kind of with understanding that as the person, I'll say as the man, but as the person that is really nothing that goes on around you really even matter. You realize that, crazy as it sounds, the world really comes out your mind. How you perceive things, how you decide to look at things really matters. And I guess through spirituality, I guess it's healing aspects of myself. I understand that. And this kind of why, to a certain extent, I really don't care about nothing. Like, it's real crazy for me to say that, but I really don't. And, like, everything is small to me. Like, there's no big or something that can, like, really bother me. That's going to pull an extreme emotional reaction out of me. And that's kind of how I decide to, make everything seen. Not seen, but, like, be. Like, any minor inconvenience or even any bigger inconvenience, like I said, I'm the type, I just take challenges head on, especially if they're not coming from like myself. If people giving me challenges, like I said, I have no problem with taking out challenges, but my challenge is more pertaining to me as an individual, and that's where I start to get tricked up. But anything outside of me, like I said, I realize it won't last long, and there's no point in, being resistant of outside change. So the more important thing that I've grown to understood was that my mind, I set the tone. I set the tone for everything that goes on around me and in my life. If I want a better life, I want more intensity, and I want more things to manifest quicker, I got to put the intensity up and don't allow anybody to really mess with my type of timing or the timing that I'm on. So I had to learn how to be still and learn to just accept things for what they are that's outside of me. And if something that I don't like internally is going on, change it. Don't hesitate. Don't allow things to, bubble up. Figure it out, and figure it out fast. Or like I said, just allow time to fix things, because you can't always fix things. That's one thing. Another thing I've grown to understand. But stillness is important, and through meditating, through mindfulness, being able to just anchor your mind at a certain point in time, allow yourself to be present and just be observant. It allows for you to only really be anchored in one moment. And if you only think about that one moment, there's nothing else in your mind. You're not worried about what you're doing from a week from now. You're not worried about what somebody thinking about you. You're not worried about, if things gonna work out or not. You just focused on doing the best job that you can, and whatever it is that you're doing. If you're doing your job, you making sure you're doing your job right. Making sure you take care of your customers. You're making sure you're doing, whether you're stacking pallets, make sure you're trying to stack every pallet perfect enough to where it don't cause any problems. You just present, and you still, and you calm. My bad, it's somebody cutting the grass, but that's the point of stillness. The point of getting through meditation is that you don't want to be living in a world where you so upset. Like I used to be so mad and upset. And the crazy thing about it was I'm a happy person for the most part. You'll see me smiling a lot, but deep down, when I wasn't around anybody, I was in pain. I was hurt. I was upset. I couldn't be around people as my true full self. I was still I was hiding myself from people a whole bunch, and it was just causing a lot of disharmony within myself. And I'm like, damn, I just feel so, lost. I feel so like alienated. I feel like I can't, build connections the right way. And like I said, I've grown beyond that point, but this is me early on in spirituality, and I had to understand that a lot of that had to deal with how I perceive things, how I perceive my traumas, how those traumas affected me, how I let those traumas create these beliefs that I still operate out of. And in the past couple of years, I've just been tackling those beliefs, and that allowed for more peace and stillness to really arise naturally. This is minus the meditation and stuff, but all this stuff in conjunction will help you create more peace and stillness inside your heart, inside your mind, you know, inside your emotions, you know. So you're not going around just putting your stuff on everybody else, because that's not fair. That's one thing I don't like, is people that is going through something and they just take it out on everybody else. I don't respect that, and I don't like that either. So yeah, if y'all found this video interesting, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Thank you.